This is tip number 2 and how to improve your batting average when you go to pray for physical healing. And it's this: before you pray, share a testimony of physical healing. Oh, and if you don't know how to pray, I'll have links either now or at the end. This can have a dramatic impact on the fruitfulness of your healing prayer. Let me give you an example. So one time I was watching the show The Chosen, and it was the scene of the healing of the leper. And I was so moved by it. I could really see just how willing Jesus is to heal. And I know this may seem funny because I've been praying for healing for so long, and the scriptures are equally clear. Like, Jesus, someone will say, "Hey, are you willing to heal me?" Well, of course I'm willing. Yes, I am willing. All that's needed is faith. And I know it's in the scripture. But somehow seeing this account, it really, really boosted my faith. Anyway, so shortly after that, I was talking to a friend, and I was telling them this, watching The Chosen and how my faith level went up. And he was really encouraged. It really boosted his faith level. And so I asked, "Hey, is there anything you need prayer for?" And he goes, "Yeah, he had something fairly serious, not a huge item, but not a minor one." And we just prayed right then and there. And he was healed, right on the spot. And both of us were surprised. "Oh, sorry, Lord." So a testimony of physical healing can make all the difference. And I've seen this being powerfully used in other ministries. There's a healing ministry in the US that I follow, and they've really focused on kind of going after cancer, and they've been so fruitful that one of the cancer clinics is shut down as a result. Anyway, in looking at what they do something very interesting. Once a week, they reread the testimonies of healing to raise their faith level. They don't focus on why healings don't happen. I mean, apart from continuing to learn God's wisdom for healing, but one of the wisdoms for healing is to continue to read testimonies to raise the faith level. They get that there's a mystery to this, but nevertheless, they want to keep raising the faith level. There's another ministry that is something very cool. They really try to measure the fruitfulness of different things they do in their services. And one of the things that they've started to track is the difference in healing services where testimony of physical healing was shared and when it wasn't. And there's a clear difference in the fruitfulness in those services where testimonies are shared. Okay, so the big message here is that testimonies can raise faith. The most basic is for someone to really believe that Jesus can heal, which I certainly believe that, and you probably do too. But the next thing is he still healing today though? Yeah, and many of us kind of believe that. It's the third thing. Does Jesus want to heal me? Is Jesus willing to heal me? What's really in the heart of Jesus? How compassionate is he? Amazingly. And so we can have this faith level. We can sort of have two things kind of going on at the same time. We can have this thing where we just know that Jesus is so awesome and so loving and so willing to heal that even if healing doesn't happen right away, or even if it doesn't happen at all, we're happy or we're okay with giving the benefit of the doubt and to continue to pursue healing prayer. Continue to pray for people with a lot of faith. Okay, how can you implement this practically? Well, yeah, before you pray for healing, share a testimony of physical healing. It's super simple. What was the person's condition? How did you pray? What happened afterwards? If you have a story where you prayed, awesome. Or a story where you received it, great. If you don't have those yet, keep following these tips and you'll have some stories of your own. A story of a friend. is equally great. A story of a friend is great. Or even other third-party testimonies that you've read. Awesomeness. Number 2, maybe watch that scene from The Chosen. Or read the scripture directly, like read the story of the healing of the leper in Mark 1. Here's a scripture prayer hack. Have the person read it, and then have them imagine them as the leper and Jesus praying over them. Okay, so if you have time before you pray, and I've got my little link here, little crash course on how to pray for healing in a very fruitful way. If you have time to slip in a testimony, super, do that. Keep praying for faith and expect something to happen.